What's going down, y'all? Welcome to another video. In today's video, we are continuing the YouTuber haircut series where you guys suggest a YouTuber and I try to recreate or reenact their haircut. And today, lucky for me, one of my favorite YouTubers by far, probably my favorite YouTuber, Casey Neistat. Alright, y'all, before we get into this video, a couple things I need to go over. Before a lot of you hate motherfuckers say anything about this not being Casey Neistat's hair, like, to the T. Like, I know that. Casey Neistat's 36. He's never had a lineup before. He doesn't get a ball fade. He doesn't get a taper. I know that. But I decided to name this haircut the Casey Neistat tutorial. Whatever I named it, I decided to name it after Casey because the top of my client's hair is exactly how Casey's hair is, and you can't tell me different because I watch all his videos. But I kind of named it that way because I would love to see Casey with a ball fade and a lineup, or even just a taper in a lineup. But he's older. I doubt he would ever get that, but I would just love to see it. So this haircut is kind of like saying it's his top of his hair for sure, but just imagine it with a lineup and a ball fade. But yeah, I just wanted to clear that up before we got in the video because I know there's going to be a lot of hate comments down in the comment section. When I love Casey Neistat probably more than anybody does. His filmmaking skills, his videos, his originality, first and foremost, like everything he does is original, and that's what I try to do with my videos. Everything be original. That's what YouTube's supposed to be based on: originality, creativity, and that's everything that Casey embodies. You feel me? So it's more of like I wish I could cut his hair the way I cut my clients, with a ball fade or a taper or a lineup, whatever, just something urban. So Casey, if you're watching this, I know you probably won't, probably a far stretch, but I would love to cut that nigga's hair. I really would. But other than that, man, let's get into the video. Alright, y'all, one thing, tell me this nigga does not look like Jeremy Lin to the T. He looks exactly like Jeremy Lin. Not to be racist or stereotypical or anything like that, he just looks like Jeremy Lin. But anyways, we're gonna start this haircut out by balding him out at the top of his ear. This is gonna be like a mid-ball fade with the hook, so what you want to do is leave some space right there on the sideburn, so when we do line him up, the hook is still present, and just bring that line down and around towards the bottom of his neck, up around to the other side of his ear. Alright, y'all, for me, and I think it's the case for most barbers, straight, coarse hair is a little bit harder to fade than like black people hair or mixed people's hair. So what I do is I like to make it a little bit easier for myself by fading the top of the hair first. So when I fade from the bottom line up, I know exactly what I'm fading into. So right here, I'm using a long number 2, and I'm leaving like a little gap between this guideline and the hairs on top, just so I can fade it in and it looks a little bit better. And the rest of the hair that's not long on top, I'm just going to take down with a long number 3. Now in between that 2 open and that 3 open, I'm just going to close that number 3 guard and fade that little faint line in between the 2 layers. Now earlier I did say fading straight hair was a little bit harder than fading black people hair or curly mixed people hair, but if you understand how to fade hair and you know how to fade hair properly, fading straight hair the steps might be a little bit different, but I mean it's all really the same. So this was an ulcer fast with the lever closed, and our next guideline on top of that, we're just going to open up the lever, make another guideline right on top of that. So our first layer was ulcer with the lever closed. Our second layer on top of that was open. So all you have to do to knock out that line in between the 2 layers is roughly put the lever halfway in the middle. Now if halfway in the middle doesn't work completely, feel free to play with the lever a little bit, open it, close it, just to knock out that dark line in between the 2 first layers. And like I said, fading straight hair, the steps might be a little bit different. So if you watched all my videos up to this point, this might seem a little bit foreign to you. But I'm just going to make an inch wide, roughly inch wide layer of hair using a number 1 guard open. Don't ask me why I do this with straight hair. It's just what I do. It's easy for me. So hopefully you guys try it and it becomes easy for you. And before I work on the bottom portion of the fade, there was a faint line created in between that long number 1 that I just used up until the long number 2 that I first used when I started this haircut. So in between a long number 1 and a long number 2, I just closed the number 2 guard. And what's really left of this fade is that line right there in between all the way open with no guard up into a long number 1. So to make it easy for you guys, I just put a 1/16 guard closed and made another guideline. Just to open up that 1/16 guard and knock out that very faint line. And I was saying that straight hair is harder, but this particular client, his hair is not hard at all. But you guys will encounter straight hair that is difficult. It's very stubborn. So with this technique, hopefully it makes it easier for you guys. And if I'm being honest, you guys could have stopped at that last step and your fade would have been cool, your client would have been happy. But if you want to take your fades to the next level and become that much better as a barber, details really matter. Be a perfectionist. So right here, I take the guard off, open and close with no guard, freehand, and I take care of any dark spots that I see in the bottom portion of his fade. It's really going to make that fade pop, make it smooth. All right, y'all, before I fade the back of my client's hair, I have a little tip for you guys. When fading Asian people's hair in particular, not to be racist or stereotypical or whatever word you want to use, I'm not being that, it's just facts. Whenever you're fading the back of an Asian person's hair, like, I don't know what it is about their hair in particular, there's always dark spots that are hard to fade in. Any barber will tell you this. Even on some Mexican people's hair or very coarse, like thick, straight hair, they're gonna have dark spots. So dark spots are very hard to blend out. And a tip I can give you guys is don't stress over it too much, because when I was starting out cutting hair and I would cut an Asian person's hair, there's always dark spots. It doesn't matter who it is. I've never encountered an Asian person's hair, and I cut a lot of people, Asian people, believe it or not, and there's always dark spots. So don't try to stress about knocking it out so much. Just try to make it blend in as best as you can without overdoing it, because if you try to overdo a dark spot, you're just gonna mess up the fade that you already have. You're gonna create another guideline. You're gonna just make the fade look choppy when it's not necessary. So just try to work out the dark spot as best as you can. Like you're about to see, I'm about to put so much more work into the back of his head than I did the side of his head. I don't know what it is about straight, thick, coarse hair. I don't know if it's the lighting or just how the hair grows. It's just dark spots. So try not to stress about it too much. If you do encounter the same problem that I do, I'm pretty sure every barber encounters it. Just don't stress about it. Just try to make the blend as best as you can be. All right, let's get back to the video. And moving on to the lineup, there's really nothing I can say. Keep it natural, keep it sharp. But I did realize on video that his hair on the side, like his fade, looks a lot lighter on camera than it was in person. Because you guys see me, I use like a 3 towards the top, and the 3 is kind of dark. So I don't know why it looks so light on his fade. I don't know if it's the lighting or the angle, but just know that in person, this fade was way darker than what it shows, if I remember right. Alright, so all that's left to do in this haircut is work on the details. So as you guys can see, I grabbed my shears and I'm knocking down any flyaway hairs, any hairs that's sticking out. With this particular client, he did not want to trim the top, so I just left it, did not touch it really. But later you guys will see me go in with my fast feeds open and closing just to knock out any dark spots, the finishing details of a haircut, some oil sheen. But I mean, other than that, man, I can't really think of nothing else to tell you besides thanks for the support as always. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button. Always welcome new subscribers. If you truly like this video, drop a like down below. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.